let's bring in Francesco Sassi, who's a professor of energy politics at the University of Oslo. Welcome back to the programme, Francesco. Now, oil prices are down on the news of the indefinite ceasefire, but the blockade remains. Is the market currently underestimating the long-term inflationary impact of a physically blocked Strait of Hormuz?
Thanks for having me again today. So let's start with the real difference here between how markets are perceiving the situation on the oil market and how physical players in the market, energy stakeholders, energy companies, refiners are instead handling oil barrels on the market at quite higher prices, very much more significant than the one traded on the Brent, around $100 per barrel. We are seeing oil barrels sold to Sri Lanka to a price close to $170 per barrel. And this is how the physical reality of energy markets is struggling with the disruption of oil supplies coming from the Persian Gulf. The more this type of ceasefire, where Iranian ports are blocked and where Iran is curtailing, stopping, halting any oil shipment coming inbound and outbound from the Strait of Hormuz, we will see this discrepancy growing. But at a certain point, the traded markets will have to pick up the reality with the physical disruption of oil coming from the Strait of Hormuz.
Right, and we've heard of one ship paying $4 billion to bypass the Panama Canal queue in order to avoid the Strait of Hormuz. How much of this current crisis is now a logistical one rather than a simple supply-demand issue?
It is already a logistical issue. The price for handling tankers around the world has spiked in the last couple of months. And in the last weeks, we are seeing the hundreds of ships closed in the Strait of Hormuz, unable to fly any cargo around the world. So LNG, and we have oil tankers stuck in the Persian Gulf, but at the same time, less tankers are available to alternative producers and exporters of oil and natural gas. And this makes the supply gap increasing further, because it is a logistical curtailment of availability of volumes on water applied to the physical disruption of oil, which is not coming from the Persian Gulf. And so we will see eventually other straits becoming even more important in the following weeks and months. But the Panama Canal has suffered from a lack of sufficient water supplies to prevent that the number of ships would decrease. This happened in 2023 and again in 2024. And the handling of water supplies in the Panama Canal will be crucial in the next weeks and months to allow especially US supplies to be diverted to Asia, because without oil coming from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, or the United Arab Emirates, and LNG coming from Qatar, the US raises up as an alternative supplier to Asia. But this will be possible if Panama Canal is allowing more ships to follow through. And this depends on water supplies. And this is not really war related. So again, we are seeing geopolitics, the physical and material reality of a few choke points around the world surging in importance. And obviously you have politics and geopolitics being played by states in this current scenario.
Professor, we'll leave it there for now. Francesco Sassi from the University of Oslo, thank you very much for your analysis.
Thank you.